Welcome to Lesson 6. This is Part 6 of 7 parts. Be sure you have completed all prior videos before watching this one. In this segment, we're going to look at the network diagram and WBS views which can be produced within MS Project. Viewing the network diagram allows you to focus more on the activities and their relationships, rather than on the durations or effort. Using the View tab, we can quickly reach a network diagram for our project centered on a selected task. Note the formatting and content of each box. Critical path tasks are highlighted in red, and completed tasks have an X drawn through them. Project automatically keeps a work breakdown structure numbering scheme. If we format the network diagram, we can include that number in place of, or even in addition to, the task ID number automatically assigned. Follow these steps to copy the template for the network diagram boxes, which we will modify. Just before you copy the template, your screen should look like this. Once we define the network diagram template to include the WBS number, we can apply that template to the major box types in the network diagram. Once we apply the template, the task ID number is replaced with the WBS number. This screenshot shows you both the setup and the result. Network diagram boxes which show the automatic WBS number rather than the task ID. We can also print the network diagram, but like the Gantt view, it may require a large format printer or multiple pages. Now let's take a look at the work breakdown structure numbering, which is supplied automatically by MS Project. All we need to do to see it is to add the WBS column to our entry table. Here is what you should see after adding the WBS column. Notice that Project uses the levels of tasks, with the project summary task being 0 and other summary tasks positive integers, to assign numbers. When you insert a task, notice how all the numbers below that task change. Don't save the insertion. Use the undo function. Most professional project managers would consider the WBS renumbering an issue. You don't want your reference to a task to keep changing. There are two possible solutions that are easy to implement. First would be to use your WBS numbers and embed them in the task name. Another possible solution is to add a text column to the entry table. Project supports many free format text columns which you can label, where you type in the WBS numbers. Having a solution like this is important for a large project with many tasks, so you can easily identify tasks with certainty. In this navigation session, we're going to look at the network diagram, which is automatically generated by Microsoft Project. And we'll also look at the WBS numbering, which also is maintained by Microsoft Project. So let's start with our Gantt chart view. I'm going to select Channel Sales Prep, come to the View tab, and click on Network Diagram. Now my Gantt chart has been replaced with the network diagram. You can see that Channel Sales Prep is highlighted because I had selected that task before coming here. and my completed tasks have X's drawn through them. Using the zoom, I can see more or less of my network diagram. And the critical path is highlighted in red. So let's assume that we want to display the work breakdown structure number instead of the task ID in this task. Let's just zoom back in on it for a minute so we can see it. So notice this was task 10, and that was the task number assigned on the left-hand side of the entry table automatically by project. So I can come to Format and the Format group and select Box Styles. You'll notice I have many styles and templates that are displayed in a preview format on the right. And you can see that this is the standard template. I'm going to click on More Templates and select my standard template. I'm going to click Copy, which will allow me to make a copy of it. The copy we'll call Standard plus WBS to show that we're going to put the work breakdown structure number in here. So I can click Copy now, and I'll move this over so you can see the chain of boxes as you saw in the slides. I'll click OK, then Close, and now I'm back to my box styles. I'm going to choose the critical through the non-critical summary. Some of those others, actually, I don't believe any of those others are really a part of this project. And in the template, I now have my standard plus WBS, which I will select and click OK. Oh, notice I forgot to change the template, so let's come back to Format, Box Styles, More Templates, Edit, and you'll see that I have a field called ID here. When I click on it, it's a drop-down. I have all the fields of project available to me. I'm going to make it the WBS field, and that's how it'll be labeled in the cell. I'll click OK and Close. Now I can select my tasks again. Actually, I think that may have changed it. Yes, it did. It already changed it. So we can just cancel this now. If I zoom a bit, you'll see that I have the work breakdown structure number instead of the ID. Now let's take a look at printing. As usual, I'll come to my Backstage view, select Print, and you'll see that I see just a part of my network diagram here. So I have a few things I can do. I can come to Page Setup, and I'm going to try fitting that to 1 page tall. And let's try 3 pages wide. I don't quite have it all in, so I'm going to come back here, and I'm going to choose 4. Still don't have it quite in here, but what I can do now is I can choose A3. I don't have a physical A3 printer, but it has some good dimensions, and I can create a PDF with that. I'm still going to have to come and make another adjustment. Let's try 5. I'll come to the multi-page view. And you can see I'm really going to be hard-pressed to get the network diagram onto one page. I can split it across 3, and I really would only have to print 2 if I didn't care to see the legend. The legend ended up on a page by itself. So at this point, if I wanted to generate the PDF, I can just click Print, and Qt PDF Writer will generate a PDF with those 3 pages and store it. I'm just going to cancel that. And I will go back to our network diagram and return to our Gantt chart. So now I'd like to show you some things about the WBS number. I'm going to close the pane, or actually just slide the shutter all the way across so that we don't see our Gantt chart anymore. And I'm going to zoom a little bit, add a new column, and we'll add the WBS column. And you'll notice that my summary task for the entire project is labeled as 0. My other summary tasks are whole integers, and my subtasks have a dot numbering scheme. Now, if I had subtasks further down, these would have another dot number as part of them. Now, the interesting thing is, let's suppose that I select this task and I come to Task and Insert. Notice that all the numbering moved down. So Microsoft added this as what they hoped would be a useful feature, but most professional project managers aren't going to find it acceptable that as they modify tasks, that the work breakdown structure number keeps changing. So, of course, one solution is that you can maintain the work breakdown structure and its numbering in a separate document. But you may want to have that for reference as part of your project plan. So what to do? Well, one way to do this is to embed the work breakdown structure number as part of the task. For example, I could type 1.1 assign launch team members. But that's a little awkward. It makes the task names a little longer, and then all the task names have to be maintained too. So the better way to do this is to just ignore the work breakdown structure numbering. And let's hide this column. I have to do that by right-clicking. And instead I'm going to add a text column. If I scroll way down, you'll see that I have some text columns available, and these are just free format text. So I can select that. Now I can type a 0 here. I can make this 1, and this phase 2, and this phase 3, and I can make this 1.1. I can remove the new task. I'll call this 1.2, 1.3, 1.4. And now if I wanted to insert a task, you'll notice that the field is blank. So I could call this 1.2a since it's an insertion. Or I could come up with any other scheme that I wanted. But now I maintain the numbering and project won't touch it. So it may be a little bit of overhead to maintain, but it will allow you to see your tasks in relationship to your work breakdown structure numbers. So I'm going to, again, get rid of this new task. I'm going to hide the text 1 column. And just for the purposes of going forward, since we're not anticipating changing any tasks, I'm going to bring back the work breakdown structure column so you can see it as you move along in planning. So that ends this navigation session. Now it's time for you to practice. Make the changes to the network diagram to show the WBS number. Add the automatically generated WBS number to the entry table. Your results should look like the screenshots available in the slides. Don't forget to resave your file. Lesson 6 consists of 7 parts. You just completed part 6 of 7. Please proceed to watch part 7.